This is William K Murtaugh, Mark Witness 1, and I am once again having to address the online silliness of Timothy Charles Holmseth and his handlers. Now, I don't like talking about Timothy Charles Holmseth. He is a useless conspiracy nut who falsely accuses everyone from the vice president on down who does not agree with Donald Trump of various criminal actions. These actions include at the top, starting from the top, treason, of course. He accuses people of being pedophiles. He accuses people of being brokers for sex trafficking organizations, mainly dealing with children. He accuses people of partaking in actions of kidnapping children through government agencies such as CPS. And the list goes on. He has a big issue with the subject of satanic ritual abuse, of which he accuses people of being involved in, accuses people of eating babies, drinking their blood, doing all sorts of things. And he also believes that there are lizard people, fish people, and even extraterrestrials, I guess, running around disguised as humans, and so on. But at the center of his obsession is me. Now, why is that? See, this is something over the years I've never really understood as why me. Now, this question comes up because of a constant reminder that the task force Twitter account keeps bringing up, and that is that the subscription rate on my YouTube channel from the desk of Witness 1 Live is in decline. I am losing subscribers. I am losing followers. Well, that should be making task force real happy, because a critic of Mr. Holmseth is losing his influence. But not satisfied with this, the task force decided to follow me on Twitter. They have about 20 followers. Virtually all of them are QAnon supporters, Trump supporters, supporters of this outlandish set of conspiracy theories that are out there, which is to be expected. And because of them, all of a sudden I've picked up kind of like a group of QAnons that are both following me on my Twitter account and are subscribing to my YouTube account, or at the very least are watching it because of the comments that are being made and the view numbers that I am getting. Now again, getting back to the numbers issue, I am not understanding this obsession for the simple reason that I am small potatoes. At last count, I think I had 849, maybe 850 subscribers to YouTube, which by YouTube standards is absolutely nothing. Now, Tim Holmseth has 30,000 viewers. That's 1,000, folks. Not 30 viewers, 30,000. He's on dozens of internet platforms. By proxy, he's on YouTube through the task force. And he has thousands of views and thousands of subscribers. So where's the threat? I'm nothing to him. Now, as I have pointed out many times in the past, there is some other factor here that seems to go over the head of task force and Mr. Homseth. And that is that Mr. Homseth has declared that he is the media spokesperson for this Pentagon pedophile task force, and that there is one individual between him and the President of the United States. This makes Timothy Charles Homseth, in his mind, an extremely important person. It also makes him a public figure because of his close association, so he says, with the leader of the free world. And task force, by extension, and the woman who has made it clear that she is representing and supporting Mr. Homseth, are also public figures because of their close association, again, with the leader of the free world, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. So by that, it makes them subject to public scrutiny more than those of us who are ordinary citizens who attempt to engage in our First Amendment rights and the right to question people who claim to be part of this Pentagon pedophile task force and the Children's Crusade and some of these other organizations that have cropped up over the years that this nonsense has taken place. Now, to the matter at hand. Today, about an hour before I made this audio, Task Force got on Twitter and said I should get a job at Walmart. Now, I'm a little puzzled here. I mean, what is it about Walmart that raises the obsession with this woman? I mean, there's other employers. There's Target. There's the major airlines. I could go to work for a major airline. All kinds of things. The only problem is this economy is in a rather precarious position. We are going through a pandemic. Whether people believe it's a hoax or it's real is open to debate. But the fact of the matter is, our unemployment rate right now stands at about 11%. A hell of a lot higher than the 3% plus that we were at before all this started on Donald Trump's watch. And because of that, it's a little bit harder to get a job. I am 69 years old. According to Timothy Charles Homseth, I have gone to jail for sex crimes, sex against children specifically, and am unable to be around children. This is Timothy Charles Homseth's claim. And he cited a rather interesting blog that's only been around since November of 2018, and the only thing that was in this entry was about me. And there's dozens of these around there. And the thing that sticks out about all these are these fantastic, disgusting accusations being made against me. And this is what I'll be reviewing in detail word for word on the video that I announced that I was going to be presenting sometime this evening or maybe a little bit later, as in tomorrow, depending on my schedule, addressing these accusations and why they are outright lies. Regardless if it's Mr. Homseth that made these accusations or there was an author that made the accusations. Because Tim Homseth has made quite a few accusations in the article that he wrote that appears on his Facebook page. And he has offered not witness of proof. Now he says, oh, people have said, he's got hearsay, he's got pictures. But Mr. Homseth does not investigate anything. He claims to be an investigative reporter. Now, investigative reporters will check facts, check the source of the facts, check the validity of the facts. Now, again, Mr. Homseth has made the claim, or has stated that the blog has made the claim, that I have been convicted of a criminal act or multiple criminal acts by law enforcement. And jurisdictionally, these criminal acts would have been in the state of Florida. Now, the state of Florida has something called the Sunshine Laws. We also have something down here called the Jessica Lunsford Act and other various means down here, which means that Mr. Homseth could have picked up the phone, made a Freedom of Information request, and requested my criminal record. He didn't do that. Because Florida also has a regulation that if someone calls on you to get your criminal history, that information is also available. Timothy Charles Homseth has never, ever researched my background. Others have. And they have found that there's nothing there. There's no there. So Mr. Homseth is lying. Flat out lying. He is doing what he even calls is gaslighting. Making false accusations against an innocent person. He is no investigative reporter. You can claim to be an investigative reporter, but if you don't act like a investigative reporter, then you are not an investigative reporting. Now, to sum up all this rambling that I'm doing here, I'm going to make this one rather obvious point. Task Force is insisting that I get a job. Now, why? I'm on Social Security. I make enough money to where I can pay my rent, I can pay my utilities, I can buy groceries, and so forth. So my basic needs are covered. For ever since I was 16 years old, I have earned a living doing something. And I have paid into Social Security. So I have money coming. So that there is no need for me, if I don't want to get a job. Now, second point. Apparently, the task force does not understand that in today's volatile situation, employers will check social media. And Walmart is one of these employers. Because of what Timothy Charles Homeseth and others have written about me, I am unemployable. Walmart has children that come into their store. Walmart is not going to hire someone when they see that there's an accusation that I have committed criminal actions against children or are involved in criminal actions against children, because they don't want to take the risk. It doesn't matter if I'm innocent of the accusations or not. Walmart is not going to take the chance. You see it every day in the news. Somebody does something in public. It gets on the internet. People get mad. They find out where the person works, and all of a sudden the institution finds themselves at the receiving end of boycotts. Their switchboards get inundated with calls complaining about this person doing this or being accused of this, and the next thing you know, that person loses their job. Now, what do you think is going to happen if I go and I get a job at Walmart and people start calling Walmart and say, hey, you have a guy working for you that, according to Timothy Charles Homeseth, is accused of sex crimes against children? Do you go around hiring pedophiles to work in your store? And so on and so forth. So you can imagine the HR person at Walmart is going to say, well, we aren't going to take the chance. We don't care if the person is guilty or not. We're simply not going to hire that person. And so there we have it, folks. Timothy Charles Homeseth is making me unemployable. And Task Force doesn't seem to understand that, or doesn't care, because Task Force is asking for something that can't be done. I am unemployable. I cannot go to work. I am 69 years old, which is one strike against me. I have to compete against the up-and-comers, the young people that have no history, and especially are not the target of some unemployed pizza delivery driver who declares himself a investigative reporter investigating child sex crimes for the past 10 years and accuses me of these despicable crimes. It's not going to happen. So Task Force might as well give it up, because Task Force is not going to be able to get me a job doing anything. If anything, Task Force and Timothy Charles Homeseth are doing the best they can to ensure that I cannot earn a living. And that's what people need to look at. Look at what Tim Homeseth is writing about me. I'm not telling people don't read what Timothy Charles Homeseth writes about me. I want people to do the opposite. I want people to go and read every single solitary thing Tim Homeseth has written about me since 2008. I want people to go and watch the videos that Tim Homeseth does on me, as well as on others. Take a look at who Tim Homeseth claims to be, and then decide for yourself. That's all I ask. Because in the end, it's too late for me to do anything. If all the things that Tim Homeseth and others have written about me since 2006 were removed from the internet, it wouldn't make any difference. The damage is done. I will never, ever be able to hold a job. Period. In this modern age where employers check social media content, it is not going to happen. So Tim Homeseth has accomplished his mission. Randy Q. Erickson has accomplished her mission. Radio News has accomplished her mission. And Task Force has accomplished her mission. I am financially destroyed, while this bunch of rich people with all their houses in Florida and in Minnesota, and so forth can live in the lap of luxury. I live in a 30-year-old unair-conditioned mobile home in the state of Florida. And this is the person that threatens them. Kind of sad, really, but this is how insecure these people are. They pick on an old man, dirt poor, with nothing. I think for the sheer pleasure of being able to destroy a person's character for no reason. This is those who support Timothy Homeseth, Randy Q. Erickson, QAnon, and the task force. That's in your realm. You support these people, that's what you support. You support bullying, you support gaslighting, you support character assassination. And there we are. Now tonight I'm going to get into the specifics of why it was necessary for me to start talking about this pariah once again. Apparently he likes the attention. Well, he's going to get it. This is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.